Their concern for the children seems mighty sincere, and I could ride that wave all day long. They've both spoken about the tunnels, with Ali mentioning that the Run This Town music video was shot in the tunnels, and you can actually see Ali in a few of the key frames being used as an extra.
Hush.
Jaguar confirms the tunnels beneath Diddy's mansion, as well as all over LA, which we already knew was the case when you consider the Prohibition-style houses and passageways that were made to keep the party going when alcohol was made illegal.
They were saying that there might have possibly, maybe be tunnels under Diddy's mansion.
No, not possibly. There are. I know people that have been in them. I know people that have been to that pool that all that section of the community can reach. People keep forgetting that the city of LA is nothing but layers of tunnels. You know, that's the one thing about, you know, my guy, he's such a geek. He's like me. He knows LA like I know Philly. Inside and out, mysteries, secrets, all of that. There are a lot of tunnels from anywhere from 10 to 15 feet. 20 feet down is the subway?
Yeah.
And then under that, there's another layer, and then there's another layer.
50 feet.
You can go about 50 feet down, and there's tunnels all underneath LA. Why wouldn't the rich and wealthy build their own so that they could have their own secret society just below the ground?
Come up here and play game.
And guess what? They can go and they can do whatever they want, and they can make their troubles disappear from house to house, and nobody see anybody moving around. Those tunnels have been there. They were there long before Diddy was able to buy a house there. The truth is, how did Diddy know to buy the right house with the tunnels underneath? Someone would have had to have told them, see? And like that Playboy bunny from London is now saying, the only difference between a Diddy party and a Playboy party was that there were children there.
You and Jack Nicholson had your own secret passageway into the Playboy mansion. Is that true?
Well, I think the story was printed that there was a tunnel.
Playboy.com staff members released some blueprints that they found a few years ago that show underneath the Playboy mansion is a series of tunnels that were constructed to link Hugh Hefner's world-famous domicile to the homes of Jack Nicholson, James Caan, Kirk Douglas, and Warren Beatty. The blueprints, which show that the construction project was built in the 70s and 80s, were discovered in the Playboy archives by staff writers looking for a juicy story, kept under wraps for so many years. Everyone knows Nicholson and company were up to no good back in the day. They were the bad boys of Tinseltown and lived a free and loose life. It's fascinating to think what those tunnels might have been used for.
Roman Polanski has been living and working in Europe since he fled the U.S. in 1978, after being accused of drugging and raping a 13-year-old girl. Back then, he reached a plea deal, admitting to unlawful sex. But fearing the judge would renege on the deal and put him in prison, Polanski fled to France the day before sentencing.
He's also recently been a former Starbucks employee whose NDA expired. They claims there's an underground location that serves celebrities who are using the underground roadways to avoid traffic.
So your NDA is expired and you could talk about this. You used to work at a secret Starbucks, is that right?
Yeah, there is a Starbucks that is like above reserve, like a Starbucks no one's ever heard of or been to. All right, You ever wondered while driving in Los Angeles, how come you've never seen like Will Smith stuck in traffic on the 405?
Yeah.
I've never seen a 1%er just in their car stuck in traffic.
Why is that?
That's because there's a series of intricate tunnels underneath Los Angeles known as the Achterbahn. I'm not kidding. Like, they get access points to move through the city without ever having to be in traffic. You can come up in LAX, you can pop up at Dodger Stadium. Underneath there in those tunnels is Starbucks set up at different locations to allow them to get coffees while they're driving. All
Who's
of
them?
Seinfeld.
You've seen
Oprah,
Seinfeld down there?
Bono. I've seen Seinfeld down there. Dude, almond milk latte, 2 shots.
Wow.
Yeah.
Was he a good tipper?
They don't have to pay.
So this has been underneath Los Angeles for a few years now? I mean, how long has this been there for?
I mean, it predates me. It seems like the city was built on top of it. So, I think this goes all the way back to the 20s.
Well, it sounds like this place is going to fall down around us.
Yeah.
Creepy. Ooh, what's that?
Some kind of vent.
Should we try to go up there?
You're thinner.
Yeah, thanks, but you're not wearing a skirt.
Oh goodness. Oh my
Not gonna do
goodness.
it. No, not
Nope.
gonna happen.
Not gonna happen?
You can't even get up there.
I could probably get up there.
There's nothing to hold on to. It's just slick.
It's gonna have to remain a mystery where this leads. These tunnels were used to move like over $1 billion worth of tax revenue. And there were like machine gun guards and stuff.
Well, I heard they used to also transport high-profile criminals like Mickey Cohen.
Crazy.
Mobster guy.
Is it locked?
Yeah. This could be the door to an old speakeasy, you know, because you can't have alcohol above. You bring it all down here and everybody will just have a good time. There is another door on the inside.
Is it open? Oh, that's like a new freaking
Push
door.
the exit. These old tunnels are now used for Hall of Records and Hall of Administration employees to walk through, as well as storage. But there's still a sense of debauchery in the air about what used to take place here.
Yeah, it's...
Oh, do you need a secret knock to get in there?
There it is. Hopefully no one's home.
What are these paintings over here?
So these are all the original murals from the speakeasy. This middle area was where they serviced all the customers and everything. So you can see also some of these sort of crazy fantasy paintings they had.
So you own essentially a little museum.
Yeah,
From the 1920s.
and we get a lot of interest from mural enthusiasts at least once a day, usually more than once a day, whether they are curious about the speakeasy or more often it's the tunnels because everyone wants to explore the tunnels. So, but this is all original. Yeah.
Now I see more of what it's like over there. It's a little bit faded, but here I can see.
Yeah, we got a keg with a draft beer being poured. It's all a little bit cartoony, but kind of cool and retro. And now you got your light, so let's go back to this creepy.
Well, there is something behind here.
I'll follow you in there.
Yeah.
On this side, we have some more of the old funky murals.
Okay.
And now we're underneath the sidewalk.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, we're right here off of 5th. This is 5th Street here, and Los Angeles is behind us.
So the building really ends right here at the doorway.
Right.
And this is under the
Yeah,
street.
this is the main load-bearing wall here. You can see there's been a lot of tarring to prevent leaks.
Yeah.
So more murals as we go around. That always clues you in that we're still in speakeasy zone.
Uh-huh. So is this under...
So this is Los Angeles Street,
Okay.
right? So this is what was the old ice chest for keeping all the beer cold.
Okay.
And obviously it's pretty big, so you figure they did a lot of business down here if you had an ice chest this big.
And then a window for
I think
serving?
serving, yeah, or maybe even just reaching in. I don't really know.
Easy
but,
access?
Yeah. But if you want to peek in there, it's definitely creepy.
Yeah. Can you give me a beer, please? Just
Yeah, let me
unpack one.
Let me
I'm
get that for you.
kind of thirsty.
This is so cool. So if they ever have another prohibition, we know where to come. You're gonna be ready for it.
Ali spoke about there basically being little underground cities where celebrities and high-profile people can find whatever turns their crank and commit heinous acts out of the public eye, allegedly.
They exist everywhere.
You've been in.
I'm sorry.
You've seen these. Been in these.
Yes.
Where do
yes,
they
there's. They lead to amusement parks. They lead to hospitals, cemeteries, schools, celebrity homes, psychic shops. They lead everywhere.
You mentioned in one of your previous interviews that it's like a whole other world down there. Can you describe it to us? What happens down there?
Yes, there's every means of transportation. There's every walk of life. There's cities. There's different air supply. There's trains. There's buses. There is every means of transportation under the ground. There's a city under the ground. There's a different air supply that kicks in after you get so low.
With some searching, it appears that underground tunnels and passageways are all too common in many mansions in and around the same area that were built for convenience, if not during the Prohibition era.
Oh, you're going faster than that thing.
Whoa. This is what's at the end of this tunnel.
Pavarotti, who was a friend and a frequent guest of the estate, used to stay here often, and he would come down to these tunnels and he would practice because the acoustics were so great. Figaro!
So what are you supposed to do with this information? And how can we help? I really don't know. I've spent such a long time carefully bringing awareness to the elephant in the room that I wasn't sure I'd ever see the day that the whispers turned into mumbles.
And the best villain is
DeVay Chase, the ring.
Was definitely one of the best characters, or should I say the creepiest. So this whole movie has been a great experience for me, and I just want to thank everybody. I just want to thank everybody involved with this movie, and especially director Gore Verbinski. And also I want to thank my mom and grandma and God, without whom I wouldn't be here. So thank you. And I also just want to thank everyone who voted for me, and at MTV, of course, and to all the ringworms out there. I just want to say,
So good, you're doing so good.
I just want to say, everyone will suffer.
an after party tonight?
I hope very soon it can turn into a dull roar, until finally those who have pull and can make a difference hear it loud and clear. Like the end of Horton Hears a Who, where all the tiny who's living on the dandelion all say, "We are here, we are here, we are here," in unison until it finally breaks the sound barrier and the bigger creatures do what they must to save and protect those poor little. Every drop in the ocean of influence counts. You don't need to be an influencer to help invoke great change. Allie and her mother are not accepting donations, but they do urge that you help spread the word and bring more attention to the kids. Those are who matter the most in this world, and those who have suffered the most in childhood seem to have been the most punished and demonized. Shame for the outcome of abuse that manifests as mental unwellness and or compulsion to self-medicate in adulthood. The time is up. Wisdom and knowledge is power. And once you take the red pill, there's no turning back. And that's a good start.
Something that is truly haunting me right now is Allie Carter's story and the fact that CPS has been the biggest suppliers of children. When I was in college to become a teacher, I wanted to be a social worker. A month before I graduated college, I put in for an application to be a Child Protective Services investigator. When I got there, there were hundreds of people applying for the same position. I asked for the conservatorship position because I had done a lot of research on different job titles at CPS. Conservatorship reunites families back together, and that is what I wanted to do. I didn't want to remove any children from their home. That's not what I wanted my job title to be. So I asked for that position, and a month later, they offered it to me, and I was thrilled, beyond thrilled. I thought that I would retire as a CPS conservatorship. I thought that I would reunite so many families back together, but I was wrong. I started out with cases that involved and some kind of like some minor things, I guess, you would compare to cases that I ended up getting. I did that for a while, and then I got transferred to the Children's Advocacy Center. These were the cases that were on the news. Really, really difficult, hard, very dark cases that stuck out to me, and I still have not ever forgotten. It was a case of a 3-year-old little girl who was being trafficked out of a hotel by her mother and her mother's boyfriend. She then moved to a foster home, and that foster home then trafficked her. It was on a Friday that I found this out. Me and the CPS attorney had collaborated together, and we wanted to remove the child immediately from the home. However, we were told that we had to keep the child there until the Monday that the judge would be back into the courtroom. So the whole entire weekend, the child would have to stay at that foster home. So obviously my mind went in all kinds of directions, and I wanted to immediately go over there, grab her up, take her home, and wait for Monday to talk to the judge. And I was told if I did this, then I would go to jail for kidnapping, and that the child would immediately go back to the foster home that they were being trafficked out of, and the process would have to start all over again. So I talked to my supervisor and begged her, how can we get this child out of the situation right now? Like, I can work on all of the paperwork while she's with me. That's fine. You know, like, I'm okay with that. I just need her out of that situation. I'm her caseworker. Can't I go pick her up for a few days and keep her with me? The answer was no. Trust me, I was going to break the law and go pick up that child anyways. But I knew what would happen if I did, and it would not be good for her. So I worked all weekend long on the paperwork, looking for her a new home, everything. And finally, Monday came, and I got to remove that child, and I honestly don't even remember, or not remember, but I don't know what ended up happening to that foster home. But I am thinking about this right now. It never left my mind, but I'm thinking about this right now because of everything that's coming out about CPS being involved with supplying the children. This was the case that made me leave CPS for good. I couldn't believe that I had to leave that child in that situation for even just a few more minutes, let alone a whole weekend. Really making me wonder some things. But you know, CPS, a lot of the caseworkers, they use their power for no good. Obviously that's coming out, but I'll tell you about a caseworker that I went and told on. I shared an office with her, and she was very angry at a dad in court who I guess had gotten close to her, was yelling at her, and some spit flew from his mouth and landed on her face. She told me that she was going to keep his son away from him because of that. Could not believe my ears. She was laughing about it. Some people who get put in powerful positions really abuse it. And I wasn't gonna let her get away with that. I was just not gonna let her get away with that. So I went to my supervisor and then I filed a report on her. I don't know what ended up happening with that either. But CPS is very shady. And when I decided to leave, they actually harassed me. They showed up at my home, they taped notes to my door. They withheld money from me that I earned, like taking the tolls and gas money that they're supposed to reimburse. CPS is all around corrupt, and I'm glad to see that it's about to get taken down. I learned the history of CPS on Fall of the Cabal just this year, and it's been several years since I've worked at CPS, and it made me sick to my stomach. I'm like, oh my God, I cannot believe I thought I was making some huge difference and went and worked for CPS because I wanted to save the children of the world who have been abused, when really they're the ones who are supplying the children in the most horrific abusive situations.
I brought this grandmother to the state capitol, and we had a press conference in the speaker's room. So by me being the vice chair of the Black Caucus, I got that privilege. They got to open it up for me. So we had a big old press conference about it, and I even had former foster youth and everything that was there. They gave this lady holy hell. I brought this grandmother to the state capitol, and we had a press conference in the speaker's room. So by me being the vice chair of the Black Caucus, I got that privilege. They got to open it up for me. So we had a big old press conference about it, and I even had former foster youth and everything that was there. They gave this lady holy hell until they even tried to lie to me, bro. They lied to me and said that the grandmother and her husband was under criminal investigation from HPD. They didn't know I knew Troy Finner, huh? So, I can call Troy. I brought this grandmother to the state capitol, and we had a press conference in the speaker's room. So by me being the vice chair of the Black Caucus, I got that privilege. They got to open it up for me. So we had a big old press conference about it, and I even had former foster youth and everything that was there. They gave this lady holy hell until they even tried to lie to me, bro. They lied to me and said that the grandmother and her husband was under criminal investigation from HPD. They didn't know I knew Troy Finner, huh? So, I can call Troy and find that out. Found out it was a whole lie. A whole damn lie. And when I say I brought legislators and everything to jump in front of this, so the end result was that the adoption was done last month.
Oh,
it was done.
Beautiful.
But I was not playing because I was fighting against the machine. Good morning. I'm Dr. Candace Matthews. I am the National Minister of Politics for the New Black Panther Nation, here standing with my chairman, Brother Quanah Lex. We're here in reference to an atrocity that has happened here at this elementary school that stands behind us by the name of Gray Elementary, that is in the school district of Lamar Consolidated ISD. We have a former music teacher that was here this school year when this shocking video has happened. This school teacher that was a music teacher taught several grade levels here in this school. We have shocking video of this music teacher doing porn videos in the music classroom, and also a second video of her doing this porn video in the school bathroom during school hours. So, and let's not leave out, she also had her school ID badge on. I called also to verify, was this teacher still employed here at this school? So it comes to find out that the teacher is no longer employed here, but not for this incident. The administration had no idea of the videos that was taking place here in this school. So what we are demanding, We are demanding that Lamar Consolidated ISD need to get with the Texas Education Agency to let them know about this atrocity of what has happened with this teacher, because this is how demented teachers go from one district to the next, jumping from district to district without, they can go and apply for a job and they have their teacher certification, they don't have a criminal record, but you over here doing explicit activities in an elementary school. That is unacceptable. So that's why we are calling this out. We are not going to sweep this under the rug. I did speak with administration here at the school district. They were not aware of that video, like I said. However, they did wanted to share with me, like I did let them know that I was going to bring this public. They did not want me, to bring it public because they did not want, the community to feel like they wasn't doing their job. But how can you not say that you're not doing your job because you didn't know anything about the video? Now that you know about the video, now we expect for you to do your job. We expect for you to go to the Texas Education Agency. We expect for you to put a block on this teacher so this teacher cannot go to another school and do this type of foolishness. This can be the same type of teacher that can touch a child. If you taking your clothes off, you're smacking your behind, you're flapping your breasts out and gyrating yourself in a classroom where students are during the school day, and you're doing this in the bathroom, that is unacceptable. So basically I'm gonna let Brother Cornell state his piece and then I'll close it out.
You really can't make this stuff up. It is absolutely appalling, shameful, and frightening that these are the type of educators that are in an elementary school teaching our children. When parents send their children to school, they believe their teachers are people of the utmost highest character. But now we got a teacher in the classroom on school hours, stripping down butt naked, bending over and showing everything on the video, and all you could see was cellulite hanging in pubic hair. This is a disgrace and a shame that this is the type of educator and teacher that is in the classroom. And she made multiple videos. Yes, the district was unaware until we brought this to their attention. But what we're asking you to do now is to go even further. Nullifying her contract is not enough. We demand that the superintendent and the board ban her from ever teaching in this school district again. We want a permanent ban on her. Secondly, we demand that the school district send a letter to TEA demanding her certification as a teacher be terminated and revoked. 3, we're demanding that this district contact law enforcement, and we want to make sure that the students that she taught are interviewed, or a hotline is set up to make sure that she didn't do additional things in the classroom that may be inappropriate, unethical, unprofessional, or dangerous in the environment of those children. If she would do this in the classroom, what else will she do? This woman obviously had lost her damn mind. She needs psychotropic medication. She pulls out her breasts and she's juggling them. Look like she's about to fall over. Then she bends over and pulls down her panties, spreads her cheeks. I'm not lying, I'm telling you what's on the video. Spreads her cheeks. This is madness. This woman should never, ever be allowed to be an educator. This woman should never be allowed to work around children ever again. And I believe that if a thorough investigation takes place, you can find something criminally to bring her into a courtroom for. Because I've seen law enforcement put parents in courtrooms for far much less than this. If we can put Donald Trump in the courtroom and find something to prosecute him for, don't tell me we can't find something to prosecute this woman for. This is sad. This is madness. This is filth at its finest. And so we're praying that the school district, we're not attacking you. You didn't know anything about this lady. But now that you do know, show the aggressive, proactive steps that you will take to make sure she never re-enters a classroom.
From what I was told is that she's looking for employment with other school districts. So that's why this is imperative that we amplify this issue, because this is how you have demented teachers going from one district to the next doing this type of behavior. So I just want to send a message out to her, because see, that video was so horrific and appalling. We just want her to know that her retired porn star activities is done. Okay? You're done. You would never set foot in one of these classrooms. You would not even have the opportunity to disgrace our eyes with that foolishness that you did in that video. So your porn days is over. And also your teaching days. We're done with this. So we demand the school district, please, again, we're not here to attack you. We're here to inform you of what you had in your school. And this is where you can prove to your the parents and the constituents that you are going to be zero tolerance when it comes to this type of stuff and these type of deviant individuals doing this in this classroom amongst our babies. That's unacceptable.
We want to make sure that if she wants to be a porn star, and it's obvious she does, that's her business.
Baby, she retired.
But we want to make sure that she never teaches in a classroom again, that her teaching certification is revoked, and she never has the opportunity or access to children again. If she wants to teach, if she wants to be a porn star, based on what I saw in that video,
baby, she retired.
I don't think she's gonna make a lot of money. Based on what I saw in that video, I don't think she's gonna be at a top tier status. That's a damn shame what I saw in that video. That's sickness. And I think that this woman needs to be mentally evaluated by a therapist.
Absolutely.
But let's make sure the school district protects the state of Texas children, so she can't run from one district to another seeking employment, because it's not in her personnel file what she was terminated for or why she's banned from the district, because they've already didn't renew her contract for other reasons. Well, that won't stop her from being employed somewhere else. But if they put in there that she's banned and they want to know why she's banned, it's done. In fact, most school districts won't even ask. Once they see you're banned, you won't be hired. Any more questions?
It appears it was related to some kind of love triangle.
I'm not sure if it was a love triangle or not.
But she the one that sent the video.
Let me say this. I wouldn't give a damn if she was having problems with her boyfriend, her girlfriend. It just didn't go well.
Don't bring it to the school.
What happened in the classroom? You in the classroom where you teach your students doing this madness? Whatever problems you got going on with your spouse is irrelevant and immaterial. What that filth that you're doing in the classroom is what you must be held accountable for.
She should have did that in her own bedroom, not here at the school, period. You know, this is not a place for that. You do not sexualize our children. You don't come with that sexualized type behavior on any type of school campus. You keep that mess in your bedroom. So like I said, your porn days is over, sis. You're doing too much.
There have been several other cases of teachers who are doing porn on their OnlyFans page. But once the district discovered in all of those cases that the teachers had OnlyFans porn material on that page, their employment was terminated. This goes beyond that, because they were doing it at home, creating these porn videos at home on their own time, not on employment district time. This happened inside the school building. This goes beyond that.
Defense of others and defense of property.
This is a civilized society. This looks like Tombstone. This is OK Corral. We killing like that. That's too much. We're not knocking the man for defending himself, but we're knocking the man for what he did extra beyond that.
Quanell X pointed out this moment in the video. When the shooter is leaving the restaurant, he dumps his drink on Eugene's body and then throws a mug at him.
At the least, it's called abuse of a corpse. That's a misdemeanor crime in Harris County.
Eugene's mother spoke exclusively with Fox 26 just days after this shooting.
But I want to know, why didn't you stop? If you had to kill him, I can deal with that. I can come to grips with that. He did something wrong. I understand that. But for him to be shot 4 times in the back leaving, and when he falls down and he shoots him 4 more times, he abused him. He was dead already.
Yeah, that mother very traumatized, and you can head over to our website, fox26houston.com. Year-old Eric Eugene. He was robbing customers at gunpoint. The gun was fake, but experts say there's no way customers could have known. The shooter fired 9 shots as Eugene was leaving. He continued to fire as he laid on the ground, and he fired one final shot into Eugene's head after he had been disarmed. Community activist Sxxx says what the shooter did was excessive, and he should be charged with a crime.
We cannot have a society where our citizens are judge, jury, and executioner.
Everyone except for those working in the restaurant collected their money and left the scene. Police later called on the shooter to come forward for questioning. His attorney released a statement saying his client wishes to remain anonymous and, quote, in Texas, a shooting is justified in self-defense, defense of others, and defense of property.
This is a civilized society. This looks like Tombstone. This is OK Corral. We killing like that. That's too much.
Well, Tom, these activists say that customer needs to be charged with a crime, and they say it's not because he defended himself, but it's because they say after that robber was no longer a threat, he continued and used excessive force.
I'm hoping the grand jury does something, because if they don't, it's going to get worse.
Here we go.
Because the message that will be sent will be the Wild Wild West.
Last Thursday, a customer inside of a Houston taqueria shot and killed 30-year-old Eric Eugene. He was robbing customers at gunpoint. The gun was fake, but experts say there's no way customers could have known. The shooter fired 9 shots as Eugene was leaving. He continued to fire as he laid on the ground, and he fired one final shot into Eugene's head after he had been disarmed. Community activist Sxxx says what the shooter did was excessive, and he should be charged with a crime.
We cannot have a society where our citizens are judge, jury, and executioner.
I'm known as Miss A by my students, and I teach elementary school. I became an art teacher because I really feel as though I have a purpose that's more than just teaching them about art. It's being present, being aware, and being a part of their growth. The day my viral photo was taken, I thought absolutely nothing about it. I thought I looked nice. Never thought it was gonna go viral. The response I received from the photo was so overwhelmingly amazing. Then the media turned it into something ugly. Oh, you don't belong in a classroom. People like you shouldn't teach. You should be in nightlife. You should be doing porn. And I was like, oh, wait, these people are serious. They really want me to not have a job. It felt really, really, really bad.
Speaking out for the first time in an exclusive interview since that photo went viral, please welcome Roxana to our show. Thank you for trusting me. I know people have been reaching out to you.
Yes, they have.
I first saw it over the summer in a tabloid. Came up in my social media feed. The teacher that should be expelled, I think, was one of the headlines.
It was posted about a year ago. It started going viral long after the picture was taken.
That's the point I was making. The picture was taken. It's set on, somebody's Facebook page, and then all of a sudden, it's out there for the world to judge you. How did you first learn that it was being shared everywhere?
Well, people were tagging me. That's how I saw it. The first time that I saw it, honestly, I thought it was funny. I thought it was comical. You know how people steal your pictures and they create a meme out of it? So I took it that way in the beginning. I'm like, oh, that's hilarious. Haha, who would try to get rid of me? That's dumb. But it was funny at first. But it was kind of like tumbleweed. It kept going and going and going and growing into something else. In the beginning, when people were tagging me in these things, it was a lot of positive. I'm thinking I'm doing something. As far as like, yeah, I look great. Let me show curvy women how to dress appropriately.
So you saw this
school.
as body positivity. You're a teacher, you're a professional, you're doing what you love, and this is body positivity.
Yes.
But then you started to get the vicious comments.
It kept tumbling and tumbling and tumbling. And I think that the picture went so viral in the beginning that people, not me, people wanted to keep it going, to keep getting whatever likes, whatever comments, whatever they were getting on their pages.
How is this impacting the life at school? Because obviously kids are on social media, their parents are on social media. When did it start to become a concern for those around?
It became a concern when the tabloids turned everything into something ugly versus look at this curvaceous, beautiful teacher, look how she can dress, being turned into
she should not be a teacher. She should be a stripper. She should be a bartender. She should be a porn star.
Did the principal or school administrators ever come to you?
Not in the beginning. But later on, yes, when it turned ugly.
What did your supervisors or the principals say to you?
The thing is that the problem with the media is I dress inappropriate. I do not. I wouldn't have the job for as many years as I've had it. I volunteered for 7 years at that school before even accepting the teaching position.
A lot of people talk the talk. You're volunteering. Then you actually become a teacher.
Yes.
And then it turns into this.
It's so scary to see that the social media and the world can really feed you anything they want to feed you. Like, it doesn't matter.
I want to pause there because when we come back, the parent who took the photo that set off this viral conversation will join us. We'll be right back.
I work at my job. What do I look like arguing with people about my physical appearance? It is so scary and mind-boggling to me that this is really a thing, you know? And I'm not gonna lie, at first I thought it was so funny. I did. I was like reposting everything and I'm like, this is like it's kind of not funny.
Today we're talking to people behind some viral videos that are being shared right now, likely on your social media feeds and between friends and family. That was Roxana. She's an art teacher from New Jersey who made headlines after a photo of her went viral and ignited a firestorm of people saying that she should not be in the classroom with children dressed the way she was dressed. Roxana, did the kids, I know they're young, but they all, you know, kind of hear and see things. Did any of the children ever come up to you and ask you about it?
Yes.
What did they ask you?
I have two of my girls, two little girls, run to me almost in tears and hugged me. They were like, "We thought you were fired." I'm like, "Sweetie, who told you that?" They're like, "My mom saw it." And I'm like, "Okay, no, sweetie, I'm right here. Don't worry about it. Go, 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 go." Because I don't want to talk about it with my children. And then I have another little boy who comes in every single class and says, "Miss A, are you rich yet?" And I'm like, "No, sweetie, not yet. Don't work like that." Soon.
Well, I want to bring into the conversation via Skype Jolie Arndt. She's the parent who took the photo that went viral. Jolie, thank you so much for joining us.
Hi.
Jolea, when you took the picture, why did you take the picture?
Well, honestly, it was just like an innocent thing. It wasn't, you know, to expose or make something bigger than what it was. It was just like, oh, okay, I'm a parent. I'm in the classroom. I see all this good going on. You know, my kids love it here. So it was just one of those things.
You posted it because you felt she was doing a good job with the kids. When you learned no one was seeing the kids in that photo, they saw her and was attacking her, did you feel bad?
Yeah, I'm one of the parents that hopped on and started like defending her and snapping and, you know, doing what I felt like it was right. Like for them to like not bash her because of her body and like appreciate her because of the good job that she is doing with the kids.
Yeah. You know, you mentioned, Roxana, this got attention all over the world. Hip-hop artist Fat Joe, who's coming on our show soon to talk about his memoir, he was one of the people who sent love and support. Here's what he said. Take a look.
In New Jersey, they got a sister, school teacher. They trying to fire her because she's too sexy. There's a teacher out there in Jersey that is a special one. I say let the women be great.
So, I mean, all of those pictures can't be scrubbed. It's there forever, as they say. It lives on the internet forever. How have you been able to move forward?
So in the beginning, and I want to say really quick, the photograph that she took is of the entire classroom.
Right.
It is not only of me.
But
it has been cropped over and over and over and over again to the point that it's like, oh, she has her bum in this child's face. It is an entire classroom. So
how do you move forward now?
Yeah, that's one. So that's definitely.
Well, let me say this. I know one thing you're doing. You're an artist yourself, and you have created an adorable digital coloring book. It's called little buddy meets the art teacher. So you've turned your pain into something that can heal and teach. And so this is your passion. Little buddy meets the art teacher.
Yeah, so I made Little Buddy. Little Buddy is a tool that I use with specifically pre-K, first and second grade. Little Buddy that's Little Buddy with the hoodie. So these are the characters that I've been using for years with my children. I had puppets, they are lost now. I don't know what happened to my puppets, but I use them with the kids so they can express themselves, and it's something that I use as a tool because art is not only drawing and coloring and cutting and pasting. Art is a tool used for therapy and healing and growth and fixing. So
listen, I know that you've been through a lot, and I hope that you continue to heal. No one should be subjected to what you had to endure. And let's face it, it's not going anywhere. But you got a bunch of fans out there all around the world. Thank you so much. Thank you, Jolea and Roxana. And you can order Roxana's coloring book online.
My mother dressed me as a devil when I was 4 years old for the little party. My first party ever. Everybody was dressed very happy. You know, princesses and cowboys. And I was looking so miserable, just really little kid with a very sad black devil dress with the two horns. I had no idea why she dressed me as a devil. I think that marked my life. So we recreated this image. Only 6 years later. I mean, after the show, I have to really put some more attention to sex of my life, so I have to really look for it. If I put advertising like that, you think that will attract some guys? Semi-intellectual artist on the top of her career, looking for the single male. Okay. So basically, you're looking into many marinas. You look in the marina who is product of the two partisan parents, two national heroes. No limits, willpower, any aim she put in the front of her. And then right next to this one, you have the other one who is like a little girl who, you know, mother never gave her enough love and very vulnerable and unbelievably disappointed and sad. And then is another one who have this kind of spiritual wisdom and can go above all that. And this is actually my favorite one. Performance is all about state of mind. The hardest thing is to do something which is close to nothing because it's demanding all of you. And this was the performance in MoMA, which just recently I made. This performance, when I said to the curator, I was just going to sit at the chair, and there will be empty chair in the front, and anybody from the public can come and sit as long as they want. The curator said to me, that's ridiculous. You know, this is New York. This chair will be empty. Nobody have time to sit in the front of you. But I sit 3 months. And I sit every day 8 hours, the opening of the museum, and 10 hours on Friday when the museum is open, 10 hours, and I never move. And I remove the table, and I'm still sitting. And this changed everything. This performance, maybe 10 or 15 years ago, will nothing happen. But the need of people to actually experience something different. The public was not anymore the group. Relation was one-to-one. I was watching these people. They would come and sit in front of me, but they have to wait for hours and hours to get to this position. And finally, they sit. And what happened? They are observed by other people. They are photographed. They are filmed by the camera. They are observed by me. And they are nowhere to escape except in themselves. And that makes the difference. There was so much pain and loneliness. There's so much incredible things when you look in somebody else's eyes. Because in the gaze, without total stranger, that you never even say one word, everything happened. And I understood when I stood up from that chair after 3 months, I'm not the same anymore. Now, let's go back in time. It's 1974. There is the gallery somewhere in the world. And there is a young girl, age 23, standing in the middle of the space. In front of her is a table. On the table, there are 76 objects for pleasure and for the pain. Some of objects are a glass of water, a coat, a shoe, a rose, but also the knife, the razor blade, the hammer, and the pistol with one bullet. There is instructions which says, I'm an object. You can use everything on the table on me. I'm taking all responsibility, even killing me. And the time is 6 hours. The beginning of this performance was easy. People will give me a glass of water to drink. They give me a rose. But after, very soon, there was a man take the scissor and cut my clothes. And then they will take the thorns of the rose and stick in my stomach. Somebody take a razor blade and cut my neck and drink the blood. And I still have the scarf. The women will tell the man what to do. And the man didn't rape me because it was just a normal opening and there was art public. and they're with their wives. They carry me around and put on the table and put a knife between my legs. And somebody took the pistol and put a bullet and put against my temple. And another person take the pistol and they start fight. And after 6 hours was finished, I start walking towards the public. I was a mess. I was half naked. I was full of blood and tears was running in my face. And everybody escaped. They just ran away. They could not confront myself with myself as a normal human being. And then what happened is I went to the hotel. It was at 2 in the morning. And I looked myself in the mirror. And I had a piece of gray hair. All right? Please take your blindfolds. Welcome to the performance world. First of all, let's explain what is the performance. So many artists, so many different explanations. But my explanation of performance is very simple. Performance is mental and physical construction that performer make in a specific time, in a space, in the front of audience, and then energy dialogue happen. The audience and the performer make the piece together. And the difference between performance and theater is huge. In the theater, the knife is not a knife, and the blood is just ketchup. In the performance, the blood is the material, and the razor blade or knife is the...
You know what I'm saying? And it's like, I know that's me. Like, I can provide pictures, not the picture that they have, because they have the original. The police had the original copy of that picture of me. You know what I'm saying? Them all being mad at me because I put snake venom in everybody's drinks and shit, because everybody acting like they couldn't remember. But when this witchy lady, she gave me, she was in a red room, and the room had mirrors everywhere, and it was a yellow snake in the damn sink. She gave me the venom, and whatever she gave me, it made me still be numb. But whatever she gave me, it made me coherent. Like I was coherent to everything, but I still couldn't move. You know what I'm saying? And I put it in everything. And I remember Kris Jenner being mad about it. And I stabbed her in her left side of her shoulder, like right here. This is where I stabbed her, right there. And no, it's not allegedly. It really happened. It really happened. And I hope by me going live and me telling some stuff that it don't help him get off. You know what I'm saying? I remember he did what he did to me. And then when it was time for Jennifer Lopez, she was there with a guy. And he was standing there looking disgusted, but didn't nobody save me.